In our last video, we explored how Kofi Annan's diplomatic genius saved Kenya from the brink of civil war after the 2007 election crisis. His ability to broker peace in one of Africa's most volatile situations remains a shining example of the power of diplomacy. But not all conflicts find such resolution. Today, we turn our attention to one of the most complex and enduring crises in Africa, the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. At the heart of this crisis is the M23 rebel group and the allegations that Rwanda is backing them. How did this conflict begin? What role does Rwanda play? And why has peace been so elusive? Let's dive in. The conflict in the DRC has deep roots, stretching back to the colonial era, and the scramble for Africa's resources. But the modern crisis began in the 1990s, following the Rwandan genocide. Millions of Hutu refugees, including some responsible for the genocide, fled into eastern DRC. This influx destabilized the region and sparked what became known as Africa's World War, involving multiple nations and armed groups. In 2012, the M23 rebel group emerged in eastern DRC, claiming to defend the rights of the Tutsi minority. But their actions, including attacks on civilians and the capture of major cities like Goma, raised suspicions about their true motives. Many believe M23 is backed by Rwanda, a claim Rwanda denies. So, what's the evidence? Reports from the UN and human rights organizations suggest that Rwanda provides M23 with weapons, training, and even troops. Rwanda's alleged involvement is driven by its desire to secure influence in the mineral-rich eastern DRC and protect its borders from hostile groups. Rwanda's alleged support for M23 is rooted in its history and security concerns. After the 1994 genocide, Rwanda vowed never to let such a tragedy happen again. This has led to a proactive, and often controversial, foreign policy. Rwanda argues that it has a right to defend itself against armed groups operating in the DRC, such as the FDLR, a Hutu extremist group. However, critics argue that Rwanda's actions in the DRC go beyond self-defense and are more about controlling resources and exerting influence. The human cost of this conflict is staggering. Over 6 million people have died since the 1990s, and millions more have been displaced. Despite numerous peace agreements and the presence of the world's largest UN peacekeeping mission, stability remains elusive. Efforts to broker peace, such as the 2003 Sun City Agreement and the 2013 Framework for Peace, have failed to address the root causes of the conflict: governance, resource control, and ethnic tensions. Solving the DRC conflict requires addressing its root causes: governance, resource exploitation, and regional rivalries. The international community must hold all parties accountable, while African leaders must prioritize dialogue over violence. The story of the DRC is a reminder that peace is not just the absence of war but the presence of justice and opportunity for all. The DRC conflict is one of the most complex and tragic crises of our time. What do you think about Rwanda's alleged role in supporting M23? And how can the international community help bring lasting peace to the region? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into diplomacy and global affairs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.